Today we're doing math pages 207, 208. This is multiplying a fraction and a whole number. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Number one, it's telling us to change to improper fractions. In order to change a problem or a whole number into an improper fraction, all you're going to need to do is put a 1 underneath it. So we take the 3 and we put it as a numerator, and we put a 1 underneath it as a denominator, and 3 over 1 is our answer. So for B, we put our 16 as our numerator and a 1 as our denominator. I'm going to keep on doing these, and you can do them too. They're very easy. 8 on top, 1 on the bottom. So and the reason that we did those, because now when we do this, it's telling us to multiply in 2a. We're going to change our whole numbers to improper fractions simply by writing the 4 over a 1. And I'm just going to bring down the rest times 1 over 2. Let's do our cross-canceling. What goes into both 4 and 2? 2 does. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. And now we're just multiplying across. 2 times 1 equals 2. 1 times 1 equals 1. We get 2 over 1. That's an improper fraction. For our answer, let's make it proper. 1 goes into 2 and 2 times. So I went really fast on that, and I'll keep doing these. Hopefully, as we go through them, it'll make more sense. There's a lot of new things being introduced here on this one. I'm going to give you a second to make sure you wrote all this down, because I'm going to have to erase it because it's running into our next problem there. Okay, we're going to do B now. I'm just going to rewrite everything in B. I'm going to bring down the 2/5, bring down the multiply sign. I'm going to write 10 over 1. So I brought down the 10 and I made it into 10 over 1. Let's do our cross-canceling. 2 and 1. What goes into 2 and 1? Nothing does, besides 1, so we'll leave those. What about 5 and 10? What goes into both 5 and 10? 5 does. 5 goes into 5 1 time, 5 goes into 10 2 times. Now we can multiply across. 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 1 is 1. We get 4 over 1. Now let's make this proper. How many times does the 1 go into 4? It goes in 4 times. Our answer is 4. C. Bring down the 3. I'll bring down the 3/8. Times, instead of 4, I'm going to write it 4 over 1. 3 and 1, nothing goes into those. But 8 and 4, 4 goes into both 8 and 4. 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 4 1 time. Now we can multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2. We have an improper fraction, so let's go ahead and make it proper. 2 goes into 3 1 time with 1 left over. And we'll make this 2 as our denominator. 1 1/2. Okay, D, make it 9/1 times 2/3. Let's cross cancel. What goes into 9 and 3? 3 does. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 3 1 time. For the 1 and 2, there's nothing to do because it's already as low as it can be. So let's multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So we get 6/1. How many times does 1 go into 6? 6 times. Our complete answer is 6. E, I'll bring down the 3/5 times, I'll make it a 15/1. Cross cancel, nothing goes into 3 and 1, so I won't change that. But 5 and 15, 5 goes into both of those. 5 goes into 5 1 time, 5 goes into 15 3 times. And now we're ready to multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 1 is 1, so we get 9/1, which is the same as 9. F, we'll start off and we'll make it a 8/1 times half. Looks like here the 8 and 2 can be canceled. What goes into both 8 and 2? 2 does. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. And so when we multiply across, we get 4/1, which is the same as simply 4. G, we'll change it into 10/1 times 1/4. Cross cancel, 2 goes into both 10 and 4, so 2 goes into 10 5 times, 2 goes into 4 2 times. And when we multiply across, we get 5/2. Now we're going to make this proper. So 2 goes into 5 2 times with 1 left over, and we'll keep our denominator of 2. So our final answer is going to be 2.5. 2.5. For H, I'm going to run out of room, so I'll bring it right down here. 7/1 times 3/4. For this one, nothing cross cancels, so all we do now is multiply across. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 4 is 4. So we have an improper fraction. How many times will 4 go into 21? 4 times 5 is 20, so we'll do a 5. We have 1 left over. bring our 4 over. 5 and 1/4. Okay, you're going to do a lot of this on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do 7 and 8 with you on the back side. Number 7, it tells us to reduce. So we got to think of a number that goes into 10 and 20. Well, 10 does. 10 goes into 10 one time, 10 goes into 20 two times. Okay, B, what goes into 18 and 30? 6 goes into both 18 and 30. 6 goes into 18 3 times, and 6 goes into 30 5 times. So we get 3/5. Okay, 11 and 33. 11 goes into both of those. 11 goes into 11 one time, and 11 goes into 33 3 times. 1/3 is your answer. Five and 50. What goes into both 5 and 50? 5 does. 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 goes into 50 10 times. Your answer is 1/10. Okay, let's have a little fun together for number 8. We're writing true or false in each blank, and don't ask if you can just write T or F. It won't kill you to write 4 or 5 more letters. We're using our divisibility rules. We've learned those before. And it's asking us to write true or false for each of these. For A, 248, is that divisible by 4? Stand up if you think it's true. Go ahead and sit down. Stand up if you think it's false. Go ahead and sit down. Remember, so the rule for 4, to know if something's divisible by 4, you divide the last 2 digits. Well, here we got 48 is our last 2 digits. 48. Does 4 go into 48 evenly? It does. 4 times 12 is 48. So this is true. Okay, let's do C since I have it on the page here instead of going B. C. It says 214. Is that divisible by 2? If you think that's true, stand up. If you think that's false, stand up. So this one, a number is divisible by 2 if it ends in a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. And it ends in a 4, so again, this one is going to be true. Okay, E, it's asking 243. If that's divisible by 3, stand up if you think that's true. Stand up if you think it's false. Go ahead and sit down. Now remember, the rule for 3 is you add up the digits. So you add up the 2 plus the 4 plus the 3. When I add those up, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. Does 3 go into 9 evenly? Yes. So that one is going to be true. Okay, we'll do the other 3. 150, is that divisible by 5? Stand up if you think that is true. Sit down. Stand up if you think that is false. Okay. Remember, any number that ends in a 0 or a 5 is divisible by 5. This ends in 0, so this one is true. So far, all 4 of them have been true. I wonder if they all will be true. Okay, next one. 80 is divisible by 2, or by 10. It's asking, is 80 divisible by 10? Stand up if you think that's true. Go ahead and sit down. Stand up if you think it's false. Great job, guys, of course. Number is divisible by 10 if it ends in 0, and here it ends in 0. So that is true. And the last one here, stand up if you think 207 is divisible by 9. If that's true, stand up. If you think it's false, stand up. Now the rule for 9, you add up your, just like the rule for 3, you add up your digits. 2 plus 0 plus 7. That's 9, and then you ask yourself, does 9 go in the 9 evenly? Yes, of course. This one is true. Okay, you're going to do the rest on your own, and to help you to be able to do that, let's do a little more true-false. We did this last time. We did the video lesson. True-false questions, and let's see how you can do on these. First one, Obadiah is the shortest book in the Old Testament. You can't look in your Bibles and check. You're just going to take a guess here, or maybe you know. Stand up if you think that is true. Stand up if you think that is false. That is true. Check out how many verses it has. It doesn't have that much in there. It's only 21 verses. Check it out for yourself, though, to make sure that Mr. Fitt's telling you the truth here. All right, let's do 3 more. All of Job's sons and daughters were killed from a great storm. Stand up if you think that is true. Okay, stand up if you think that is false. And that one is, again, true. All his sons and daughters were killed by a great storm. Alright, 2 more. The Old Testament book called Exodus is filled with rules and laws. Stand up if you think that is true. Stand up if you think it's false. And this one is going to be false. That one's going to be false. The book of Leviticus is the 3rd book of the Old Testament. That one has all the rules and laws. Exodus is the 2nd book, and that's not the one. Alright, last one. Okay, so Jesus performed a miracle. He had fed 5,000 people. After Jesus fed the 5,000, there were 7 baskets of leftover bread. Remember, he took 5 fish and 2 loaves of bread, and he prayed over them, and suddenly they had enough to feed 5,000 people. And there were baskets left over. Now, the question you're having now, was it 7? You got to figure out if that's true or false. Stand up if you think it's true. Stand up if you think it's false. It was 12. So this one is false. Go ahead and do the rest of the math on your own. You guys are so smart. I know you can do it. You'll do a great job.